Welcome to The Creative Influencer, where we discuss all things creative with an emphasis on influencers. The Creative Influencer is hosted by John Pfeiffer. John is an entertainment attorney in Santa Monica, California, who represents influencers and other creatives.
This is episode 10 of the first season of the Creative Influencer podcast. Today we interview Lizzy Scherer. Liz gives us her thoughts on growing a YouTube following. In the 9 months since she started her YouTube channel, Liz has attracted 1.5 million subscribers and over 210 million video views. Oh, did I mention she's really smart? Liz earned her bachelor's degree in statistics and technical writing from Carnegie Mellon University before she started her YouTube career. Stay tuned for Liz. I am joined today by Liz Scherer. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
You joined YouTube on September 29th, 2017, so just a little bit over a year ago.
Yeah.
And you already have 1.5 million subscribers.
Yep.
And over 210 million views in 1 year.
Yep. I actually started my channel in February. Like, that's when my first video was posted of 2018.
Oh, so you're even more of an overachiever. It's only 9 months.
Yeah, so it hasn't even been, like, really a year.
Okay, so the first question has to be, how did you grow your following that fast?
So we initially started off building Steven's channel. And through Steven's channel, we had, like a lot of character development where Carter, is his brother. And then I came on, helping out with everything. And so I already kind of, had a following on his channel. And so it was kind of a lot easier to slingshot my channel to,
You'd already developed your voice.
Right.
YouTube sends plaques when you get to certain levels. Mm-hmm. What levels are they, and what plaques have you received?
So there's 100,000 subscribers, which I received. And then, 2 weeks later, I got the 1 million subscriber.
Well, that's what I was going to ask, if they crossed in the mail, if they still send them.
So, they didn't, I wasn't in the system. I didn't have, a manager or a YouTube rep or anything, for the longest time ever. So, I didn't, the way it works is they, email you, congratulations. They send you a code and you redeem your plaque. So I redeemed my 100K subscriber and my million play button the same day. So they basically came
Does that ever happen? I mean, I've never heard of that happening.
Yeah, I think it's more an organization thing than anything. But yeah, I guess since I just grew so quickly, it kind of I don't know. I guess I'll tell you after we're done with the interview why I asked this question. Where do you have your plaques? We have a wall and we put them all up. So we have one for my dog. My dog has.
I'm going to ask you about that too.
So yeah, I guess she has one too. It's funny.
So I'm going to shift gears a second. Where are you from originally?
So I was born and raised in New York.
And then until recently, you were living where?
So in
general.
I guess Virginia for the most part of YouTube, and then before that.
But not for long.
Yeah.
You were moving.
I guess I was in college, which was Pittsburgh, and then I moved out to San Francisco for work, and then I moved back to Virginia a year ago.
And then now you're moving again.
Yeah.
To
LA.
Why LA?
Just more opportunities, in terms of collaborating with people. And then the weather is a huge factor because most of our videos are done outside. Because we do just a lot of fun, outdoor crazy stuff. And it's really hard to do that in the winter.
Are you telling me that the weather in LA is better than it is in Virginia in the summer?
Yeah, definitely. It's so humid out there.
You mentioned going to college in Pittsburgh. Where did you go?
So I went to Carnegie Mellon, and I got a Bachelor of Science in Statistics and Technical Writing.
And you also swam?
Yeah. I swam for the first 2 years of school. And then I like studied abroad my junior year, so I didn't really swim much. And then senior year, I kind of just focused on my grades.
When did you graduate?
2016.
And when you graduated, you said you moved to San Francisco?
Yeah.
Who did you work for?
So I worked at LinkedIn as a technical writer. That was like my first job ever. Like, because I interned there and stuff too. And then...
So what this is completely off where we're going, but what tips can you have for your LinkedIn profile?
Update it. I feel like most people don't. And I think a lot of people go crazy with it and write too many things, but just like keep it short.
What did you do for LinkedIn?
So I was a technical writer, but I did like internal documentation. So I guess like when you think of technical writing, it's like writing manuals and documents and like how-to guides and stuff. So I basically did that, but not for anything that like you guys would see. It's more like just for other engineers within the company to see. So yeah, it was just a lot of writing.
And then you became a business manager for 2 influencers.
Yeah, I guess it's
How did that's so different. How did that transition come about?
So while I was at LinkedIn, Carter was working in Philly, kind of like he was doing research and stuff, and then Steven, his brother, was doing YouTube, and so Carter was like, oh, like this is so cool, like we should totally do this, like. And so they like kind of dabbled in it, and so Carter would like go on weekends home to like film stuff with his brother, and then it kind of like started picking up, I guess like early 2017, and Carter was like joking, like, Liz, if you hit like 1 million if we hit 1 million subscribers, like you have to quit your job and like join us. And I was like, okay, you know, like that's never gonna happen, or it's gonna take a long time, because like 1 million's a lot of people. Like you don't think about it, or we don't think about it that much anymore, because it's just a number. But like if you like try to visualize 1 million things, it's a lot. And so I was like, that's never gonna happen, like, you know, but I would still help.
10 huge football stadiums.
Yeah, that's true. That's crazy. I always imagine like Carnegie Mellon graduation, because it's only like a couple thousand, and I'm like, wow, like that's nothing.
So you said you set up your channel in February of 2018.
Yeah.
But you have more than one channel.
Yeah, so I kind of got like super carried away. So I think like I started my channel, and then I wanted to have a channel that I could game on, because I was playing like...
Are you a gamer?
I was playing Fortnite like 3 to 4 hours every day, and I was like, I might as well capitalize on this. So I started a gaming channel just recently. And then I also started like it was supposed to be like a makeup channel, because I was like, makeup is so cool, like I've always wanted to get into it. But now it's turning into more just like me. Like I don't even know how to explain it. Is that the
Lizzy's Life channel?
Yeah, it's more like just silly things we do throughout the day that I just like want to capture for fun. And it's different than my main channel, because it's kind of targeted towards, I think, an older demographic.
Have you always been a gamer?
No.
When did you start being a gamer?
When Fortnite came out.
When did Fortnite come out?
I don't know. How long has... I don't even know. Less than a year ago. Yeah, maybe a year ago-ish. And it was like super trendy, and everybody's posting videos about it. I was like, I want to try playing Fortnite, and then I just got sucked.
So now the Stereotype, and before you take any umbrage to it, my younger son goes to Carnegie Mellon for grad school.
Oh, wow.
So I mean nothing by it, but the Stereotype of Carnegie Mellon is very scientific, very math based, very very gamer-ish.
Yeah.
If you will.
Yeah, that's true.
What percentage of the women play games?
I don't know.
You know?
I think it's probably a lot lower than men, of course. But again, I guess like at Carnegie Mellon, we didn't really like game too much.
You were busy studying?
Yeah, basically.
How did you pick Carnegie Mellon? To go back a second.
So it was basically just the best school I got into, I guess. And then swimming was such a huge part of my life that I didn't want to give it up when I went to college. And so it is also a D3 school, so so I wasn't fast enough for any other school. Basically, I wouldn't be able to swim if I went anywhere else. Yeah.
Going back to your channels, you also have a third channel for your dog.
Yeah. So I started Otter and Millie's channel because I just thought they were so cute, and I would film them all the time, and I was like, okay, these are so cute, maybe other people will think they're really cute. And so I would edit those videos myself and work after hours, I guess, to get those videos up, mainly just because I love dogs.
What kind of dogs are they?
So one's a Yorkie and one is a Havanese Poodle mix.
Based on comments, is one more popular than the other?
I think they're both equally liked.
So now, I just saw one of them where you introduced the dog to cows.
Oh, yeah.
You know you're not going to be able to do that in Los Angeles.
Well, yeah, I know. But we'll get stuff of her playing in the pool or something.
And your most watched, the dog's most watched video is actually a music video, Snow Day. Tell me how long did that take to film?
It didn't take that long. I had a gimbal with a cinematic camera on it. I think it's a Sony, so it takes slow-mo really well. And since it's on a gimbal, it looks a lot smoother and stuff. So there was one day that we were home and it snowed a lot. And so Carter's mom and I went outside and we built an igloo and we just had this huge snow day, and it was so cute because Millie's running around and she's so little that she's getting stuck in the snow. And I was I have to film this. So I filmed it, and then I was oh, I should just use the Snow Day song that we filmed, but do a puppy version. So it really only took maybe 2 hours for the whole thing.
Because it looks like it took a lot longer than that.
Really?
It does.
That's good to know.
Okay. You have been doing YouTube stuff, and you decided to start your own channel. Why the 5 month? Now, I didn't realize the 5 month delay, but why the delay from the time you started it to the time you first posted?
So just running a single channel like Steven's channel was so much work in terms of just we had so many things going on, and it was just Carter, Steven, and I. We didn't have anybody else on our team to help us, and Steven and I were still editing and stuff, so our day was just so packed, with filming, editing, trying to do brand deals and stuff by ourselves. It was just a lot. But as we kind of added more people onto our team, I was running his merch from the ground up. He started with no merch, and I got a fulfillment center. I figured out how
did you go about doing that?
Honestly, I look back and I'm I don't know how I did that, because I had I had no experience at all. But I think, I don't know, we just worked really hard. So, I mean, we obviously made mistakes and stuff, but, I don't know, given the scale, I guess it really, was pretty negligible, and so, it was just, we had so much on our plate, so I didn't really, and then we launched Carter's channel, I think, October of last year, so then I was helping with that, so then my channel, we kind of didn't really have enough time for it, and then we just brought more people on the team. I had more time to do things, and so I finally filmed my videos. And
how many people are on the team?
So currently we have 7, 8.
What roles? What general roles?
So we have a full-time video editor, and then we have Hunter, who's our brand manager and kind of general manager as well, and then we have Ryan, who it's so hard to put people in roles because there's so many things and everybody's wearing so many different hats. But he kind of just helps with overall things as well. He'll help us with uploads and like help us manage channels and stuff like that. And then Kelsey, who helps us with like Instagram, and then she does a lot of like she helps me film. She's kind of like helps me just run my day basically. And then we have Zach, who is more like a creative director type of role, and he does a lot of like cinematic shots and does like really cool photos and stuff like that.
So now your channel has kind of a mini series feel to it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a constant theme running through, a couple of different themes.
Mm-hmm.
One is the Crush series. How did you come up with the Crush series?
So, growing up, I love like chick flicks, and I love like little cute like romantic moments and stuff like that. And then Carter and I are dating, so I was like, Carter, like we should do this like Crush series. It'll be so cute, and like all these like kids will love it because they, you know, it's just like that's the stuff that I lived for growing up. So I was like, kids will be able to relate. Plus, it's also, I think a lot of kids are in that awkward stage, like, oh, if you like someone, like, how do you react and stuff? So, like, I think a lot of kids kind of like look to us for that stuff too, and they just like watch our videos, and we kind of put a comedic twist on it to make it light and stuff. But basically, I was like, Carter, we should do a Crush series. It's going to be so cute.
And have you gotten comments and feedback back that people have kind of emulated what you've done to try to copy it?
I don't think so. I think they really are just like, oh my gosh, you guys are so cute. And then in a way, I guess emulation would be like, I have a crush on Carter too. Like that type of stuff.
You delete that comment, right? So who is your target audience?
So our target audience is probably like ages 4 to 12-ish. It kind of ranges. And you could see that like in our different content, I think. Like some videos, like the tweens will like more, and then some videos is more for like the younger kids and stuff. But we try to keep it very engaging for just anyone to watch. And then obviously like being family friendly is also something we try to do.
So you go for the G/PG?
Yeah, exactly.
Has your focus changed since you first started?
I think just with the chaos of so many different things going on, I do think sometimes it gets a little like crazy in terms of like our creative content, and then also having to adjust with like YouTube. But at the end of the day, like we always go back to kind of like the basics where we want to just create like really cool content for kids. I mean, even for anyone, just like it being cool. Because if it's cool to us and we have fun doing it, then it shows through our videos.
Right. You're obviously comfortable in front of a camera. Have you had experience acting or being in front of a camera before this?
No, never.
So this is the first time?
Yeah. It's actually so weird to think about that because people don't see vlogging as kind of like, I don't know, because it's so much more real. It has like that real feel. I don't think people realize like it's still being in front of a camera. So. Well,
I had a client describe it as the new reality TV.
Yeah, it's a good way to describe it.
It is. It's real-time reality.
Yeah, yeah.
What has been the biggest challenge you faced when creating the content?
I think the biggest challenge is really like working with YouTube.
In what sense?
In terms of just like everything we do is like kind of is very strategic. Obviously there's a creative aspect to it, but there's also a huge strategic aspect to it, and Carter is like the mastermind behind, you know, how to make your videos pop and go viral and stuff. So, I mean, YouTube's constantly making changes and they're always kind of tweaking things, and that definitely affects our video's performance. So if my heart's like really in the video and I'm like, this video is like so good, I had so much fun filming it, it's gonna do so great, and then, you know, like it doesn't, then I'm just like, oh man. Like,
you talked about the strategic aspect. How much of the let's turn to the creative aspects / strategic. Do you actually whiteboard out what you're going to do?
No. We do definitely, like, write down all of our ideas. Like, if I'm, like, sometimes before I go to bed, I have, like, a bunch of ideas. I'm like, I'm probably not going to remember these, so I, like, write them down and stuff like that. But we never kind of, like, whiteboard it out or anything. We kind of just, like, go with the flow, I think.
How far in advance do you plan? I mean, do you have, like, 2 or 3, 10, 1 video?
We go day by day. So, like, we filmed a video 2 days ago that we're posting today. We're probably going to film a video today that we're posting tomorrow. So
how often do you post?
We try to go every other day. So Carter posts, like, it's like 3 to 4 times a week. So basically, like, daily between both of our channels and stuff. And then, like, Millie's channel, she posts, like, twice a week.
She posts.
And then I kind of just post on my other channels when I get to it, which could be, I don't know.
How do you keep, other than frequent posting, which a lot of people, they're on a once a week basis, but how do you keep your followers involved? Do you interact with them on the comments and respond?
Yeah, so we do comments right when we post, and we make sure we're liking them, reading through them. Kind of, they give us feedback too, which is, you don't really think about comments as feedback, but I think it's a great way to kind of, like, understand what they're thinking and, like, what they want from us, because sometimes, like, we're so off with, like, some comments, you know, they're like, oh, this isn't, like, what we wanted or something like that, and it's like, and it's like, it's basically just good feedback, but that's kind of how we interact with them. And then, like, Instagram and stuff like that.
What has surprised you about the process?
I think Carter.
What about Carter surprised you about the process?
Just how, like, he's so smart and creative and strategic and, like, logical. For me, I'm very, like, emotional, so I'll be like, oh, my video didn't do well because, like, I wasn't good or something like that. And Carter's like, oh, no, it's probably, like, this, and this. And I'm like, okay, that probably makes more sense, you know? And he, like, keeps me grounded. And for someone to do that so consistently, I think it's just, like, really crazy. I don't know, because it's so different than my thought process.
What's the video that you did and you thought this is gonna be a hit, and then it turned out not to perform like you thought it would?
I feel like there's a lot.
But is there one that you have in mind that when you were done, it's like, we nailed this one? But let me flip it.
Well, that one did do well.
Let me flip it. Was there a video that you thought, it might do okay, but did really well?
Yeah, I do have one of those.
Which one was that?
So I did a video where it's called Box Fort Trampoline, and we got these, like, foam it was so last minute, and it was so chaotic, and I didn't have, like, a good thumbnail or any of that, and it ended up doing really well.
When you say really well, how many views?
Like over 1 mil, maybe, I think over 3 million. It just, like, kept performing, and I was like, wow, like, what is it about this video that's doing so well? You know, because sometimes, like, I can't figure it out. I think it just got looped into, like, a good suggested traffic.
When you do a video and then you get most of the traffic, I assume, in the first week.
Yeah.
Has there been a video that's just had legs on it that people keep going back to it and back to it?
Yeah. A few. It's weird because I think, like, if somebody else posts a video similar, it just, like, it just helps out, which is great, you know, like, because YouTube does have a pattern of, you know, you get the most views in the first, like, 48 hours, and then that kind of determines how many views you get throughout the whole video's, like, lifetime. But some videos, like, that don't really perform that well, like, in the first 24 to 48 hours, I have some where I'm like, wow, this video keeps performing. Like, I did a DIY edible candy pranks video, and it's just, like,
a DIY candy what?
It's like an edible candy prank. So.
Oh, candy pranks. Okay.
Yeah, so I put, like, salt on, like, gummy worms, and I gave them to Carter, and he's like, ew, this tastes horrible. But, yeah, that video, is like a top performer, you know, like on a 48-hour basis, which is nice to see.
Yeah. Before we started the interview, you talked about you have done collaborations with other influencers. How often do you do that?
I think we do them pretty often. Like, I wouldn't say like once a month or anything like that, but if we're all getting together, like we all went to CVX Live and we did a bunch of collaborations with like Chad and V, and then like Carl and Ginger and Rebecca Zamolo, Ninja Kids TV. Like there are a lot of creators there, so it's easy to collab with them when you're there, and that's just like a lot of collabs in like at one time, you know. But Carter and I go to Carl and Ginger's a lot to collab with them.
What percentage of your friends are actually influencers?
I think now a lot more because it's like my life. So probably like 80%.
When did that transition? Just since you started?
Yeah, I think like the first year of my life, I didn't like really have a life. Or the first year of YouTube.
The first year of your life, you were calling.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on.
I want to talk about feedback and comments. Mm-hmm. So, do you read your comments?
Yes.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being they really bother you, 1 being they don't bother you, where are you on that scale?
I would say like 1, because most of the comments are pretty nice. Like, we have like such great fans who, if they do comment, they say nice things, and then if they say mean things, then I also know that it's like just a kid. So
right.
I don't really take it to heart.
How critical are you, kind of dovetailing on the comments, how critical are you of your own work when you see the video when it's done?
I think since we have like so many like quote unquote products, aka like videos, like we have so many that I don't know, it kind of like in the beginning I was so like, oh, I look so weird on camera, you know, like I shouldn't have said that, or should have said it a different way. But I think now, since I've been doing it for so long, like it's a lot easier for me to not be like critical of myself. I like to try to keep things positive because it's just like at the end of the day, like this is a crazy job and I'm like so grateful for it, you know.
In a typical day, how many hours a day do you spend recording yourself?
I don't know. Maybe like 2 hours. We don't really film like, you know, like every second of every day type of thing. But yeah, probably like 2, maybe 3 hours.
Do you ever feel burnt out in trying to come up with new ideas?
I feel burned out, but not like in the sense of trying to come up with new ideas. It's more of just like I need a better work-life balance type of thing.
And what is your typical work day?
We get up and then we meet with the team, and then we go film a video, or we're like scheduling things, or I'm like doing emails, or if we have to post, then we like upload a video, work on thumbnail, like get the video up, and then do comments. And
how much of the day do you spend consuming content? I mean, I'll give you an example. One client said she gets up in the morning, she turns on YouTube on the main screen, it's on all day long.
Wow. We definitely don't do that. I think I watch some YouTube, but not a whole lot. Like, I don't really watch a lot of YouTube myself. I guess it's ironic, but...
Are you a Netflix person?
I really don't watch TV a whole lot in general. I think it's just like most of the day I'm like busy. If I like do want to decompress, I like play Fortnite or something.
That's right, you're a gamer. That's right. Okay, I'm going to change gears just a second. Do you consider yourself an influencer?
Yes.
When did you first consider yourself an influencer?
I think when I started my channel, because I think before that it was more just like being in the videos, but not being like the main character.
What is your definition of an influencer?
Someone who makes an impact in a greater, like in a large scale, like, because we have like millions of people watching and stuff.
Did you ever have that, I've kind of made it moment?
No. I mean, I don't know. It's like hard because I think most of the time we're working so hard that we do forget to like step back and appreciate, and it's so hard because you're your own boss, so you don't have time to like say good job, Liz, like like nobody does that.
Good job,
like,
Liz.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I think that's something that we try to do more often, where I tell Carter good job because he's the boss, and like nobody tells him, and then kind of vice versa because we're so busy.
Have you been in public where people have recognized you?
Yes.
When was the first time that happened?
I don't remember the first time actually, but I think it was probably in like a grocery store or something, like really like random.
Where were you? I mean, in a grocery store. What state? Was this back in
Virginia? Yeah. I think in Virginia. Yeah. It was weird. Weird.
Which is just crazy to show the impact.
Yeah, because when you're behind the screen, you're just looking at numbers. You don't actually think about every little kid who's like there watching you.
Have you been to VidCon?
Yes, we went for the past 2 years, but this past year was definitely like more crazy, I think.
the fan interaction.
Yeah, like there were definitely more fans for sure.
If you could go back, and granted you've only been doing this 9 months, so it's not that long, but if you were to go back and start your channel again, would you do anything differently?
Start it earlier. But no, besides that, probably not.
What do you see as the trend for your channel in the next year?
So hopefully I just completely blow up and get to like 10 million subscribers.
Is that the goal?
Yeah, soon. But I mean, it's consistency, and it's just, like getting better, improvement and stuff like that. So it's so hard to visualize that, or I don't know.
Where do you see the space, just the YouTube space, in the next 6 months, year?
I think it's definitely like on an upward trend. Like it's definitely exploding right now. More people are using YouTube as like, I feel like in the past it wasn't as big of a platform, and it's definitely like huge, especially within our demographic. And then nowadays, like every kid wants to be a YouTuber, which is so crazy, like because when I was growing up, it's like, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, and it's changing to like, I want to be a YouTuber,
Last question. Where can people find you?
On YouTube.
and where would they look on YouTube?
You could just search Lizzy Share, and I'll have like 4 channels.
And your dogs.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
That's it for this time. If you enjoyed our podcast, please write a review on iTunes and tell your friends to subscribe. If you have any questions about influencers or suggestions for future episodes, email them to John at Pfeiffer@pfeifferlaw.com. Thank you for listening.